to someone's leadership. And a man is supposed to lead. That is the divine order of things. No matter how much you try to change that, man was built, born, and designed to lead. That is his function, role, and capacity in society. How much we want to change that. To lead, produce, protect, and provide. Here's the problem we have. A woman is only going to submit to a man when she sees him leading by example, walking his talk, and practicing what he preaches. I'll give you a couple examples, and you don't have to use just women for this. You can use children for this as well. If your bedroom is dirty and you tell your child, go in there and clean your bedroom up. These children these days are gonna look at you and they're gonna say, well, your bedroom ain't clean. The problem we have is men are trying to lead women, telling them, do as I say and not as I do. I want to be able to do this, 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 and this, but you can only do this, this, and this because I say so. So you got caught up in a situation where women are saying, listen, you're going to have to walk your talk. And that means if a man wants a woman, almost any issue that we have with women as men, we can fix that overnight because we have created or supported it in some shape, form, or fashion. Don't want women twerking on social media? Stop hitting the like button. Don't want women dancing in strip club? Stop throwing thousands of dollars at them. Whatever situation, don't want women acting like men? Take your ass home and take care of them. Remove them from the masculine role then. So you have a bunch of men now who want to tell women you got to do this, and this. They say they want women in shape, sexy and fine, but they bellies touching their knees. So a woman look at him saying, his physical discipline ain't in order, so why should mine? Leading the health category, a man's got to show a woman, I'm eating the right way. I'm taking care of my body. Today, 20-year-old and 30-year-olds look like they're 40, 50, and 60. So the point I'm making is to get a woman to submit, you got to walk your talk, man. If you telling her to save money, she can't see you throwing thousands of dollars away. You got to lead with financial discipline. She got to see you putting money in the bank. So then you say, you see how much money I saved this month, sweetheart? Now how much are you gonna save? And when she see you put 1,000 away, it's gonna be hard for her to say she's not gonna put no money away. So when she sees you, when you don't want her talking to you like a man, when you talk to her like she's a woman, when you communicate clearly, when you address her like a man, when you don't start screaming and yelling with her and she take you as one of her girlfriends, she'll see, oh, this is how you handle confrontation in difficult conversations. So what I'm saying is, listen, all of this submission talk, it don't mean but one thing. Submit to a man's leadership, and the only way a man is going to get a woman to submit is he's got to lead by example. That's it.
All right, all right. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. And you're right. That's really all it takes. We just need some better examples. But go
That's
ahead.
it.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost impossible for you to show a person the way and they still turn around and do something totally opposite. Now we know there are cases where people will do that, but we
Mm-hmm.
play the numbers in life. We play the numbers. We know that more often than not, if you show somebody the way, they're gonna do it the right way.
Correct.
And
That's
you got
it.
to stop first by trying to make something be what it's not. Okay, it's not meant. It's too much. You try. Listen, if I look at you and you got to stand up to pee, you got a beard and mustache like me, I can't call you no girl because you're
That's a
not a girl.
fact.
You
That's a
understand
fact,
what I'm
brother.
saying? So the reason that I corrected Mr. Beatty was that reason. If you Biblically speaking, they didn't even date. Do you understand what I'm saying? Marriages were arranged. You got dudes that don't even want to pay for dinner for crying out loud, right? You don't want to pay for dinner, but when back then you had to pay a woman's father what you call it,
Dowry.
A dowry.
a dowry to marry her. And that dowry won't cheat. Now, had we sitting here talking about if you fool around, it's real ignorant. It's like you go on social media, you look at all these social media sites, all these videos on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and all that. All these guys arguing about females and femininity and submission and stuff like that, right? The part for me, it gets real ignorant. Dudes complaining about women's body count. They're complaining about all these different things about women. So it's like, okay, if your sons are out here in the streets, hitting everything in the street,
Talk, brother.
who they sleeping with if they ain't sleeping with your daughters?
What they hunting
How
on?
can you fool
That's a
around
good
and have
question. That's
100
it.
women under your body count and then say you
Yeah.
want her to have one sexual
You
partner?
want come
That
on, but
means you had
that's
to be
good
sleeping
teaching.
with
That's good
dudes.
teaching. That's
That
good
doesn't
teaching,
make any
man.
sense. Then if you get with her and she got a low body count, then you know what that also means? She got a standard. But now you mad at her because you done took her to Ruth Chris and now she won't come home and freak you out. Okay. So if she has a standard, then what are you talking about? Like, then you want to call a brother like me simping and because you trying to be a real man about your business, right?
Talk that talk.
It's like, where are the boys at? Okay, they come out the gate. Uh 50-50 this, 50-50 that. No, life is 100 and 100. I sell life insurance, right? On my worst month, I probably make more money than most people, right? So, and that's not a braggadocious thing. That just means that I'm acknowledging everybody doesn't earn the same level of income, right? So I understand that every guy can't pay every bill without just by himself, especially in this economy. If you make $75,000 a year, you're not a buster. But you know what? $75,000 a year right now is the old 50,000. And you're not going to pay a $2,000 a month rent by yourself, lights, water, cable, gas, all the food and everything, clothes and all of that with that income. But if that's the case, and you a man, give her your best effort. So if you work at McDonald's, I ain't got no problem with you working at McDonald's. I've worked at McDonald's, right? But where's your best effort? Does that have to be the final destination? Do you have any other aspirations? Can you get a heating and air license? Can you go learn about some real estate? Get an insurance license? Can you go be a barber? Can you do something else to earn a living that you can be the man of your home and provide for your family to the best of your abilities? And if you are doing that, and you got a woman that love and respect you, she will fill the gaps. But what these jokers want is they want to bring minimum effort, and then they want the woman to give them everything. They don't even want to supply the house. They think that they're supposed to meet a woman that already got a house and car, and you move in there, but then you want her to be 100% submitted to you. That don't even
Yeah.
sound right. It shouldn't sound right to anybody. So
They want
until
to pay half the bills and they want 100% of the authority. They want to pay 10, 20% of the bills, but they want all of the authority. You're correct.
exactly, and it wasn't
Fact.
made that way. It was never made to work that way. And like I said, we are the example, right? And I keep referencing the Bible because it comes from the Bible, right? When God made man, He gave Adam instructions. You ain't got to take my word for it. Read it for yourself. He never spoke to Eve. He never gave Eve instructions. Eve got her instructions from her husband. When the enemy came in the garden, Eve knew what Adam told her and even repeated it back to the enemy. But that second of doubt, did God really say that? She didn't know whether God said it or not, but all she had to do was listen to her husband, and then we still walking around naked in Africa and living forever. But she didn't want to do that. When Adam fell, it's because God told him he would surely die if they ate from that tree, yet he did not physically die. So when she didn't die and he ate from that tree, God ain't come from heaven saying, Eve, where you at? He ain't come from heaven in the cool of the day and blame her. Who did he blame? Who did he punish first? He punished Adam. So if a person want to tell me that he gave a man all that responsibility, because you really got to think about the responsibility he gave to Adam. He gave him the responsibility of developing the land. He gave him the responsibility of heading the family. He gave him the responsibility to name everything you know, every animal, every tree, every herb, every seed was named by Adam. God named nothing. You telling me God gave that man all that responsibility, and you telling me he don't have a higher expectation for us in 2024? You got to be a new fool to think that. And so for me, my issue is not the fact that I don't understand what my responsibility is as a man. My issue with the sisters is, with all that education, why can't you look at a respectable man and understand that this is who I'm supposed to come under? If I put 100 brothers in a room and I put the five best up front, she'll bust through them to get to the back to Ray Ray, Pook, and Mike, and Nook in there. She doesn't respond to good men. This is not nothing I make up. When I was really out there thinking my worst, I had more women I could shake a stick at. When you grow up and become into your manhood, if you are a good man, you are struggling to find a queen to build with. And that is the God honest truth. Women do not respond to good men. We
What
having this
let me
conversation.
ask you, brother. I don't want to cut you off, but let me ask you a question. Yeah, I'm gonna have to push back here.
Go
May
ahead.
I ask? May I ask how old you are?
I'm 52.
52. I'm 48, so I would say we're close, right? We're
Uh-huh.
close. The one thing I don't have a shortage of is women after me,
I don't
and I
have a
really
shortage of
don't.
women after me either, but
So
I have
I
a
want to
shortage
ask.
of good women.
I want to ask a question, and that's what I want to ask you. Let's establish. Well, what is a good woman? Because that you painted that with a broad brush. We might all have a different idea of what a good woman is. So, what would your idea of a good woman be that you're struggling to find?
Man, it's basic things. Women today can get the bag, but they can't fry no chicken. They can't even maintain. They can't do nothing domesticated. They can't manage a daggone house. You fool around and got kids with high blood pressure in the elementary school because their mamas was taking them to McDonald's every day. It's the simple things. If I can make some money, what if I fall? Can you pick up the ball and run? Can you support me? If I'm making the money and can pay the bills, are you even smart enough to not just blow all your money because you can? Are you saving any money for a rainy day, even though I can manage the bag? I mean, what I'm talking
but
about is
but
just
listen,
complimentary.
I want to
Go
ask
ahead.
you this though. Because okay, so you said the women you're meeting the women that can go out and get the bag, right? But are you? And
There's
I'm
plenty
just
of women that can
asking
get the
because I
bag. You ain't got to. You ain't got to move far to see that.
okay, so and I don't want to. I'm not challenging you on your own personal experience because I don't know. You're speaking on your own personal experience. So I want to make sure I understand though. You're telling me that at 52 you're struggling to find professional black women that can cook, clean, run a household, and manage finances?
Listen, I'm telling you that they can
Oh
manage the
man, I
finances a
find
little
that
bit.
hard to
Listen.
believe, bro.
They can manage the
I
finances
ain't gonna
because they
let you
know they
put that on our sisters. I'm finding that
listen.
hard to believe.
I'm just telling you what the truth is, bro. They can manage the finances because they can get the bag, right? So they know what to do with some money because they've been taught to do that,
Right.
so they don't have to depend on us. These sisters out here, because they can get the bag, they don't think they need to come do anything domesticated. Matter of fact, when they meet brothers, they're telling you, shoot, I work too. I ain't coming home and cooking every day, right? So it's like but here's the issue with even with that. Even if you're a woman that got a job, my responsibility don't change because you got a job, right? So I ain't met a woman that can tell me that, well, we both work at the house so we can do everything 50-50. But if the car flat in the morning, she ain't going out there and jack the car up and change the tire. She gonna wake me up and say, check the tire flat.
That's a
She ain't
fact.
outside in the summertime cutting grass. So I got all the big daddy old stuff, 50% of what Big Mama used to do. So tell me if who's really doing 75% of the house, managing 75% of the house. It's not her. Because she is most of these sisters out here are demanding that that housework is 50-50. And you're talking about a brother that can cook. I ain't got no problem cooking. The Coles boys can throw down. But if I'm out here providing and I'm out here paying all these bills and I'm out here doing, I ain't coming home cooking every day. And if I got the food around and come bowl and pay all the bills, buy the food and cook the food, putting in the hours I do to support a lifestyle, I don't need no woman. You can stay over there with Ray Ray and them. and I stay by myself. If you and the sad part about it, the dudes they decide to get that respect to are dudes that ain't got no job. He live with his mama. He ain't got no car. He driving a car. And listen, when I worked at Coca-Cola, I used to see it all the time. Brothers don't even go home on the weekend. Come home, come into work. They got stuff packed in Tupperware. The kitchen smelling all good. And all the married brothers that's out here taking care of families, we got ham sandwiches. Man,
Have
please.
you ever been? Have you ever been married, brother?
I was married for 18 years, and that's why I ain't married no more. I had enough.
Brother, I find it really hard to believe you
And guess
finding a
what? Make 6
50
figures
plus.
and ain't never cheat on my wife and took care of the house and raised stepkids and did everything I needed to do, and it still don't work. So I ain't, and so I'm just telling you what the truth is. And you got some good women out here, but you know where they at? Husbands. The ones that's really good for real, that know how to respect a man, talk to a man, already got a man. That's why they got one.
What city you live in?
Richmond, Virginia. It
Yeah,
don't
you
matter
need
though,
to.
bro. I've been in Georgia. I done lived in New Jersey. I done been in a few places, man. It's the same all the way around. You sit there. I remember we was in when I worked at Coke. Yeah, you had brothers, black brothers. We all got having the same argument about at home. It don't change, man. I'm just telling you, it's just different. And nowadays, you got to be a lot. If you just look online and watch what you see. They think because they got nice bodies and they want to sex you to death and freak you to death, they think that's what all we
I
care
think
about.
that's the I think that's the wrong kind of woman, or the woman you looking for ain't on social media looking
That
like
is the
that.
wrong one.
Hold
That
on.
ain't the one you looking for.
I
You see
agree with you. That's
you
not who
keep
I'm looking
saying
for, but
things and it's a dichotomy. I'm not understanding. That ain't her.
even outside of social media, it's like that. I'm telling you the truth. I'm out here in the
I come,
streets, man.
I don't believe it. I come to your city and I find 100 beautiful, good, eligible black women within 90 days, brother. I don't know what you doing
What you
up
want?
there in Richmond,
Okay,
Virginia,
okay, okay,
but you
okay.
need to call Big Coach so I can give you some of this sauce.
I tell
There's
you what you do,
something
big coach.
wrong with
Hey,
you.
big coach.
Some
Show,
gotta be wrong with you. I'm
hey,
not
big
gonna
coach.
let you talk about these professional grade black women like that.
Hey, big
I
coach.
meet too many of them.
Big coach. Let me tell you
I
something.
meet too many of them.
Listen, just because you fine,
Man, I met one. Let me tell you
just
something. I
because
met one.
just
Listen to me,
just
Mr.
because you
Cole.
fine and just because
Look,
you can get the
look,
bag and
Brother
just because
Cole.
you nice don't mean you know how to be a wife.
Brother
Straight up,
Cole.
it's not.
I met one about 3 weeks ago, brother.
Uh-huh.
54. I'm gonna introduce you to her. I'm gonna introduce you to her. I'm talking about bad 54-year-old sister.
There'll be
Got
plenty of fine
a
54-year-olds. That
$5
ain't what we
job
arguing about.
offer. Bad. Wait, relax, 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 relax. What I'm trying to tell you is this, brother. I don't know what you're doing wrong, but me and you, we gonna figure it out. They're out there. I don't know where you're looking for them. I don't know what you're saying to them when you get them on the
I done
phone,
got my
but I'm
passport,
telling
bro.
you,
I'm going to
these
Africa or Haiti and
sisters
bring me.
are out there. They're out there. And I ain't gonna let
I'm
you
telling you
say
right now,
that. They're out there.
they
We just
nah,
look,
our
look,
sister's damaged, man.
Oh
no,
Our sister's
look, I
damaged,
agree
man.
with you
I
on
done
that.
accepted the fact I done bought my passport. I had to go out the country and grab one. I done
Listen, I'm
accepted the
going
scene in
to
America.
agree with you. I'm going to agree with you that our sisters are damaged and traumatized. I'm just going to say that we damaged them and traumatized them as men. We did that because as the leaders, let's hear me out. As the leaders, where was her daddy? Where was her granddaddy? Where was her uncle? Where was her brothers? Where were the men in the community? Where was the pastors? Where was the deacons? Where was the elders? It's our job, bruh. And what I keep
But
trying to
I
say to
said
men
that
is,
first, coach.
what?
I
Look,
said that before you said it.
the, the
We ain't
honorable,
disagreeing about that.
the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this. He said, "Anytime you see a no good woman, there's at least one no good man behind her that made her that way, and that's just the facts."
You and
So
me
look,
ain't
that's all I'm
disagreeing
saying.
about that. Before you
So I,
spoke,
I
I
know, I
said all
know,
that. Okay, all
I
right. So
know.
we ain't disagreeing about that.
Yes, sir.
My argument is not that we didn't cause the problem. My argument ain't the fact that I didn't acknowledge it. My argument, I said all of that before. That was the first thing out my mouth.
You did.
But
I give you credit.
you also heard me say, with all that knowledge, with all that able to get the bag, Why, when they meet a solid, good man that's God fearing and ready to lead the family, can't you come under and respect that man?
I
I'm a
That is
believe
punch
they
in.
not who
can.
our
I
I'm
believe
a
sisters
they
are
punch in.
can,
respected
brother
in
I'm a,
these
I'm,
Cole.
streets.
I'm a punch
Go
in.
ahead,
Go ahead,
brother.
Chad. You punch in. Go
I'm
ahead.
a punch in. I'm a punch in real quick because I heard this. I heard both point. I'm hearing both points. I hear you, big coach. Absolutely. I hear you, Darren. And I'm hearing both points, and I'm here. And what I'm formulating in my head as a response to that is getting the bag and being educated does not make you ready for a relationship.
That's true.
All right. Kudos to them being the most educated. I love the fact that that's a stat that we can say for our community. Black women are the most educated, the ones getting the most degrees, the ones getting the most advanced degrees, so on and so forth. Masters, first masters, second masters, doctorates, postdoctorates. They got it. That's cool. I also know a hell of a lot of single doctors. So there's that. I know women that make 2 to 3 times what I make. And I'm not even like struggling, like I'm not even like super struggling like that. But they're making 2 to 3 times what I make and still don't have it because that is a unique skill to be submissive, to understand what your highs and lows are, and to find somebody complementary to you where for your lows, their highs cover you, and for your highs, their lows can support that. And going back and forth, I'm hearing I'm hearing both y'all going back and forth about the good women, the good women, the good women. I'm a good man. I'm a good man. This goes back to what we were talking about last week. Good and good for you are not the same thing.
They not.
Bingo.
There's a coach.
Word.
You could go to Richmond and find 100 good women. You might only find 5 that are good for Darren.
Right.
I agree, and I wanted to make that point, which was, man, I think women these days outnumber men something like 20
It's
to one.
nuanced, brother. It is
I,
it
I,
is nuanced. I know we're talking about the generalized things, and what everybody has said about the points of having quality of character and being able to secure stuff financially, and whatnot, and being able to understand the roles that go into maintaining a household and maintaining a relationship, which is the real prize. I'm gonna throw that in there real quick because I hate that argument about women being the prize, men being the prize. The prize is the relationship because that's the thing that benefits everyone. That's the
now I'm gonna have
that's
to
the
agree
thing.
with you. I'm
That's
gonna have to agree
that's
with.
the thing that you need.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. The woman is always the prize, and we ain't gonna never be able to change that. The relationship is a beautiful thing that the man should lead,
He
but
finds
in
a good thing.
no, in every circumstance, the woman is the prize. And when men start trying to change that, we fall into a lot of what we have going on right now. I want to say that I believe women outnumber men
They,
20 to 1. And I believe black
I
women
mean, depending on where
outnumber
you
men
at, yeah.
about 13 to 1, something like that.
Uh,
12 to 1, 13 to
over
1,
overall, yeah, I think so.
something like that. Brother, there just ain't no way you gonna tell me. It's just not. Listen, I'm not gonna allow you to tell me that you've met 13 women, and out of all 13 black women you've met, you did not find one that was suitable to be your wife. Now you might have
Who you
dated
talking
two
to
or
me?
three. I'm sorry.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, brother Coles. You not gonna tell me you dated 13. Let me ask you something. Have you been on 13 dates this year with 13 black women?
No, I don't think I've been on 13 with 13, but
See, that's my
hold on.
point. That's my
No,
point. We get
that's
this
not
small
really a
sample
good point
pool.
because if
We
to be
get this
honest with
small
you,
sample pool.
listen,
Then we go out here and castigate our black women with this. You gotta
listen,
have a
man,
small sample size.
it
Mhm.
ain't that small a sample size, doc. Because all you
Tell us
know
how
you.
many. Tell us how many.
So listen, one, if yeah, if I'm like right
Over the
now,
last
I'm
5 years, how many? Just give us a number. Give
well,
us
it
a
ain't been
number.
5 years because I ain't been divorced, but since last year, right? So I
Okay,
haven't
so
been,
over the last year, how many have you gone out with?
let's say about 6 or 7.
And
Hold on,
look,
but at the same time, doc, listen, I ain't. Listen, I'm 52 now. I ain't out here just trying to sleep with the yard no more, right?
We
So
ain't saying nothing about sleeping
okay,
with nobody. We say you trying to find a
So
wife.
if I'm out here dating women, and then if I'm out here dating women, I ain't out here just out with somebody different every day. Obviously, you got to take time to find what you like and what you want and stuff like that. But you come across a lot of people, bro, and especially in my line of work, I come across a lot of people. When you're dealing with finances, I'm basically family planning. But yeah, dude, you don't have the privilege of seeing what I see. Like you sit here, women come to my office sometimes. Man, the money they hide. I mean, the women. Listen, I get the fact that you need some getaway money in case a dude trip on you and stuff like that, man. But when you sitting here I'm talking thousands upon thousands of dollars sometimes that he don't even know that she just stacking money and doing it for her own. It ain't like she doing it for the family. You know what I'm saying? So the point that I'm trying to make is I see things, I see a lot of things, and so you and I can agree. We probably agree on more than we disagree about.
We
But the
do.
point that
We
I'm trying
do.
to
We
make
do.
is the point that I'm trying to make is I'm not taking nothing from anybody. A lot of women gonna be in your amen corner because they don't want to hear me sitting here saying what I'm saying. But then ask them to fry some chicken, they're gonna sit there and
Yeah.
I don't want to cook. Want
Is
some
that a
kids,
pre, is that
want
is
some
that a
kids,
pre
get it. I ain't trying to be funny, bro,
man?
but
You
so
ain't. Hey man, you ain't gonna tell me black
Yeah.
women can't fry no chicken, Holmes.
But,
I
but
just
listen,
don't
I ain't
believe it.
telling
he's
you it's
making
a
a good
difference
point. That's
between
what I'm
can
talking
I
about.
fry
Those
chicken
unique
Oh,
and
they
skills.
will I
And
outside.
fry
won't fry
chicken.
They
chicken.
outside.
That's right.
I
Let me
feel
tell you
you.
something.
I
You
feel
see
you.
a lot of women out here that once them kids get a certain age, they ain't cooking for nobody. But guess what? Your husband don't come second to your children. He is first
I
in line.
agree. I
Okay.
agree.
So and women don't treat us like we first. You ain't got to take my word for it, brother. Today, Father's Day. I got something to eat early. You know what? I walked in and walked out. You go on Mother's Day, ain't a restaurant around. You walking in and walking right
But
out.
listen,
You're
but here's
not
the
doing
thing.
it. We
But
gonna
here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that.
go ahead, tell me.
I hate when men compare themselves to women in that regard, and
I'm
let me
not
explain to
comparing
you why.
myself to a woman, Doc. Listen, I own the fact of provision. I own everything that you're saying.
I got you.
I'm not even saying that a woman should do exactly what I do. What I am telling you is, if you're a good man and you're a good father, why the
That's what
restaurants
you're supposed to
empty?
be. You don't get no extra credit for that being what you're
Hold
supposed to
on.
be.
You don't get no
Enough while
extra
this
credit.
turn. You don't get no extra
None of
credit
us
for
get
that.
extra
That's what
credit for doing what we supposed to do.
listen. God designed you to do that. That's
And
what you
he
were
designed her
born
to be
to
a nurturer
do.
too. So he
You
designed her to do
know
what she's supposed to do.
I
Yet
was born
we're loading stores with jewelry. We're loading stores with cars on Mother's Day. The
Mhm.
flower shop make more money than any time of the year.
and
And guess what?
and
We're
by
doing these things.
virtue. And by virtue of a woman's existence, if you take her as your woman, that's how you ought to feel about her. She my girl. So
Listen,
she
I don't
my
have no
girl.
problem doing it, Doc. But if you're a good father, you deserve
That's
some level
what
of appreciation that
you
men
ought to
don't
be a
get.
good father. That's what you was born
I
to
ain't hold on.
be, and
And
you
you
don't
also
get
and
no
you should
credit
be a
for it.
listen, brother, you should be a good mother. But that's not enough. That's not enough for anybody. What I'm telling you is, and I don't have a problem doing what I do. And what I'm telling you is not the fact that I'm really complaining about it. We're making an observation. Okay.
Yeah, I
When
feel you.
you watch, if so don't sit here and shoot me some bull jive about,
No, I'm not
well,
shooting
it's
you.
my job. It's
Just small
hold,
things you
hold
say.
on, Doc. Hold on. It's about it's about me just doing my job
You look,
because
you can't be
if
on
it's
both
just
sides
about
of this
doing your
thing. You got to
job,
get on
then
one
her
side or the
job
other.
is to be a mother and do what she's doing, and that means nobody deserves nothing. That means there shouldn't be a Mother's Day, a
Nah, I
Valentine's Day, or
disagree
nothing.
with you. I
Hey,
But
disagree
see,
Darren,
with
there
let me
you.
you
let
go.
me say this. Let me say this. I'm injecting it. Okay.
That's some bull
First
jive.
thing, what people don't realize that everybody have roles and responsibilities. And I
Fact.
said this two Sundays ago that it's like a team. Somebody's the goddamn head coach and somebody's the coordinators. The husband's the head coach. Okay. The wife could be the defensive coordinator, could be the offensive coordinator. But what the problem is the fact that people want to do the head coach's job and the head coach want to do the coordinator's job. Kind of like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson could have had 5 Super Bowls for the Cowboys.
Yep.
But the problem was Jerry didn't allow Jimmy to do his part. You know what I'm saying? And Jimmy didn't allow Jerry to do his part. Just like in relationships. The problem is the fact that the lack of husbands, the lack of real men in homes blending these responsibilities. You got punk ass bitches on the men's side, and you got women who want to be dudes on the dude side, and nobody understand their damn lanes. Until people understand the damn lanes on what they're going to drive on, then we'll have continuity. Without continuity, then we always going to have distress, animosity, drama, and everything in between.
Basically everything that you see happening right now. Basically everything that you see happening right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful point. Knowing the role, and this is going to sound like me being a broken record because I say this, and I've said this in almost every episode that we've done. The key for men and women is understanding what you're here to do. What are you here to do? Yes, you can be wives. Yes, you can be husbands. What type of husband are you? What type of man are you? What type of woman are you? All right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 8 people on this screen right now, which means we have 8 unique lifestyles. A lot of overlap in terms of some of the general rules and regulations and policies that we have in place, having respect, being courteous, being mannerly, being kind as opposed to being nice, right? From last week. Having a solid work ethic, having a solid way of being able to, do quality communication, knowing how to manage our emotions, this, that, and third, right? In a general aspect, we all pretty much have the same standards that we're trying to maintain. But after that, it gets dumb nuanced. It gets hella specific. It's going to be different for Ms. J, for Frederick, for me, for Johnny, for Big Coach, for Darren, for Chris, for Dedrick. And finding somebody, and I'll say it again, finding somebody complementary to that, where they have, within reason, a similar level or similar intensity of standards. And then finding out as you uncover the nuances through quality communication, through quality experiences, and so on and so forth, seeing how complementary they are to you. That's what makes for the good relationship. Seeing, like I said, where your lows meet their highs, where their highs meet your lows. Wonderful example, super fast story. Wonderful example that I'm pulling from my own personal life, and I do this. I have a personal story every episode. My father and mother married for 52 years, up until 51, almost 52 years, up until he passed in 2021. My dad was raised to believe that, no matter what, man's in charge of the finances when it comes to the household, right? Meant well, except he sucked at it, right? Almost lost our house, right? My mother, conversely, keeps better records than the Library of Congress when it comes to finances. She will go to pay a bill and come back with the bill paid, how much money was paid, the financial arrangements, who she spoke to, their birthday, when they got married, first of kin, to contact in case of emergency. And this is what she does. And she has notebooks and notebooks and notebooks on top of it. So what Dad had to do was understand that she complimented him as far as his deficit. My mother had a converse benefit that yielded harmony in the house, saved our house. And then what happened was, with him yielding that to her, he then moved from being a participant to being a spectator, and he began learning. And while he never reached the same level of proficiency that my mother did in terms of handling the finances and keeping bills and records and so on and so forth, he absolutely became better. And that yielded more harmony between them, because as he became better, he was able to take more of the responsibility, which then took some of the weight off of her shoulders. And then that caused her to appreciate him more on as a person and as a mate and so on and so forth. And that contributed to the overall well-being of their relationship and the house in general.
Chad, that's a team. That is the
teamwork and partnership and being complementary. So for everything we're saying, for everything that everybody is saying, it boils down to knowing what you are and what you're not, and finding somebody that matches you on that.
But Chad, it's hard to do that when people are at war with you and everybody, the man they had in their life.
That's part of the fight.
That's part of the fight. Until a treaty is called right before you actually establish ground in your relationship, then Chad, your mom and your daddy relationship is normal, like everybody else should be. But it's hard when people have one foot out of the relationship because they assume you're gonna be a cheater. They assume you ain't gonna be good with nothing. That you're not gonna be able to function, not gonna be able to entertain them. It is so many women, and Darren and Big Coach. I jumped in the conversation. I've been divorced going on what 11, 12 years. Okay,
Yeah.
so I could give you a good sample, and the women that I met that really disturbs me. You know, you have the normal fashion of just women who just want entertainers in their life. Okay, you know, they want a man, a flavor of the month. Okay, I can respect that. But what burns me is a woman who left her husband because he can't perform in the bedroom that he did when she met him her junior year in college. Okay. She left him because she know her friends go take all these trips to Thailand and Dubai that they see on social media. And the husband is a project manager for one of the oil and gas companies in town. He's like, hey, we could take our trips, but we're not taking trips every quarter. Okay. We got bills to pay. We got investments. We have retirement. We have to plan out our estate for our children. So what has happened, you have a contrast of social media that give you this different alternative world of everything is about, you know, going to McDonald's every Thursday and Friday in Playland back in the 80s and 90s, in the 70s. Not understanding that we got homework to do once we get home. And that's the problem. And until we set the standard on social media on what is demanded and what we want, then it could change the narrative. Okay, because what you haven't constant. Because my son is going through this. He lives in New York City. He's an executive right now, a young executive for a private management fund group up in New York City, and does well. But it's hard for him to find a quality woman because they're teaching their daughters that they want to go to a 5-star restaurant on the first opportunity to meet somebody. They don't want to do have the conversation. And they don't want to type the coach. I'm gonna let you roll. My son is 23 years old, man.
23.
Graduate from SMU, man. You know what I'm saying? Does well for himself. Came from a great mother, great father. But I feel sorry for him is because the lack of quality women of color. They are young because their mothers raised them. And look at their grandmamas, ain't even words. Who's setting the examples? And only body, I hate to say this, guys, the only body have anything that's somewhat decent is their damn daddies. Because I asked him, how's her father? Man, he good people. But the problem is that why the mother's not good people, but the daddy is. That doesn't go hand in hand. And that's why I say all brothers who listen on this call tonight, if you divorce your wife and you divorce your wife, make sure that she all right. Make sure she's okay. Talk to her. You know what I'm saying? Because you started as friends. You became lovers. You transition out of her life, but still keep her focused by bringing quality other men because you set the standard. Make sure she meet it or exceed it to bringing a quality man of life because that's what's going to affect your daughters. Because your daughters are soaking in the opportunity on what they see in their own home.
Maybe I'm an anomaly. Maybe I'm an anomaly.
What do you mean, man? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm gonna be very clear here. I'm gonna be very, very clear, man. To hear two articulate, handsome brothers like yourselves get on this platform. Now, I want to be clear. We have a lot that we agree on. Brother Cole, brother who was just talking, brother up top.
Dedrick Wilmer.
So I don't, brother former.
Wilmer.
Is that right?
Wilmer. It's in the caption.
Wilmer. I can't see. I'm sorry. Brother Wilmer is really tiny. Brother Wilmer. We agree on a lot of things. So I don't want to make this seem as though we're just being combative, but
not at all.
I just can't help but disagree with this narrative that you all are spinning about quality black women because that's not my experience.
Hold on, fellas, real quick. Hold on, not to be rude, but our time is limited. And I appreciate all the fellas that have dropped the gems about this and about that. But, you know, we got to tag in. We got to get some other fellas in here. Brother Johnny, I know, I know he got, I know Brother Johnny got something good to say. Frederick, go ahead and get in there, man. Listen, man, y'all tag in. handle y'all business. I don't want this to derail and we miss the point that we're trying to make as far as like coming together on this podcast. Johnny, tag in, bro. I know you got something good to say, but I appreciate all the fellas that have, chimed in thus far and have dropped the gems, like real talk. But Johnny, man, I know you got something good to say, bro. So handle your business, fam.
What's going on? What's going on? Appreciate that, man. So listen, I was listening to all y'all. Y'all very intelligent, strong black men, and I love y'all words of wisdom. I'm probably the youngest person in here, but I want to speak on like my experience and like my daily. It's more to me the fact that we all different, right? We all got different experiences. Some people are ladies, men. Some people have game. Some are not. So we're gonna meet different women. We're gonna be in different places. We're in different places of success, and I feel like success in life is if a man finds a good wife, finds a good thing, but it only works if it balances everything out. Like we all like I think like society and social media got life misconstrued of what you call a bad bitch, right? And so we chase bad bitches. All right, y'all know what we do. Like that's our trophy. When we talk amongst each other, when we see a bad bitch, we say, "Damn, she's wifey type." But guess what?
I'm
Half of the
sorry.
time, those are not wifey types, right? Uh, 1 out of 10, most of the time, a 7 or 8 is wifey, right? So we're dating out of our leagues. We got to
No,
stay.
it's not a league. It ain't a league, brother. No, it ain't a league. Go for it, man. It ain't a league, man. It ain't no league.
If you got to be able to afford what you're dating. You see what I'm saying? Like you got to be like mentally, physically, spiritually. Everything got to be combined and balanced when you're dating. Period. Right? So everything will work out, and sometimes it be our fault. Like I ain't gonna lie, it'd be my fault a lot because I'm so looking for this soul unicorn. Right? So I had to think back to myself and say, "Hey, what's really wrong? It's me." But really I'm trying to find myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, like we keep chasing, you got to get your mind right with yourself. You got to follow God. If you want to be a leader, first you got to follow God, and then you'll have a woman be able to submit to you. That's first. If you ain't following God, how you gonna know how to move right for somebody to follow you? That's only right. So that's my thing. It's just too much bigger and going on with like who is who is who. If you're gonna date, you gotta date at your speed. I mean, you just gotta find the person for you. Everybody gotta balance each other out. We argue about the 50-50. It's 120% on both ends of the float. Ain't no 50-50. It ain't no 75-25. It ain't none of that. If you find the right one for you, or know y'all know who y'all know that when you feel comfortable, if you feel like she's cheating on you, if you feel like that's in your heart, then you dating the wrong woman. If she feel like she's cheating on you, then she's dating the wrong man. So you will know when you got that right person and you feel secure with them to actually be able to get them 100%, and everything will be all right. But we just gotta sit back and think where we going wrong at because we always point the finger when it really be us. That's what I
Johnny,
think.
that's good stuff right there, bro. Now that was
That's
dope.
right.
I like what you said real quick. Just real quick that everybody bring 120 to the table. And right now, man, in 2024 in today's society, everybody's talking about the 50-50, the 60-40, the 20-80, all this other BS. It's like, bro, if you bring 120 to the table, both man and woman, husband and wife, we can succeed. So I like what you said there. If anybody don't take anything from what you just said, bro,
Yeah.
that 120 and 120, bring that to the table, whatever it is. You ain't even got to be working. But if you bring 120 to the table and you maintaining a household, you maintaining my children, you maintaining my seeds, and you maintaining finance, whatever. Me, if the man is out working his 9 to 5, if you doing your 120, you picking up OT to put us in a better position financially, successfully as a couple, as a power couple, we're going to win. So all this 50-50, all this 20, now it's BS. Stick right there. Everybody bring 120 to the table and we can rock out. That's good stuff, bro. Appreciate you. Now hold on. Yo, brother Deidre, it's good to have you in the mix. Hold on real quick. I want brother Frederick to get in real quick. Brother Cole, I dig what you were saying earlier, family. You're gonna get in a sec, bro. Let brother Fred rock out real quick.
I agree with my brother Johnny right here, and I want to amplify the point that he just made because
Are you asking the jury to
I'm gonna say
believe
this,
you
and
say without
I
any
don't know
proof?
who's gonna get offended with this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Some of us as men are punching above our are fighting above our weight class, and we keep getting knocked out. So, and what I mean by that, man, like just like my brother Johnny said, we looking for the baddies, and them bad. I mean, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying that none of us as men can or cannot punch above our weight class, because I know all of us can do that. But I know for me, I'm gonna fight at a weight class that I know that I'm comfortable with. You know, I'm a middleweight, so I'm gonna fight at a middleweight. I'm not gonna be a middleweight and fight at a heavyweight because I'm gonna get knocked out as a heavy. I'm gonna get knocked out. So I'm most definitely gonna stay in my lane with that. Another thing, like I like what you said, brother Johnny, is finding yourself. We and I've said this on more than one occasion. How we gonna find a mate, someone that's gonna love us for who we are when we don't know who the hell we are?
Correct. Correct.
How we gonna do that? How we gonna want somebody to identify with us as a man, and we don't know who we are? We don't know our own damn identity.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't know what our identity is, we ain't not gonna find nobody that's gonna be that's gonna be compatible on our level. That's gonna be even compatible on our level. So it does start with self first.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said that on more than one occasion. We got to start with self first.
This whole series.
We got to heal ourselves first, man. And I'm not talking about this slapping a small ass band-aid on a big ass wound.
That's it.
We got that wound has to be properly debrided, dressed, and taken care of. And now, mind you, brothers, healing and rehabilitation are two different things.
Mm.
Two totally different things. If we don't heal ourselves from the things that we've been through or that we've experienced, and we don't go through that rehabilitation phase to continue on that journey, not only are we gonna find somebody that's compatible with us, but we gonna bleed all over them until we bleed out.
Mm-hmm.
And we gonna wound them until we gonna wound them, and then they gonna bleed out. And nobody knows, none of us know first aid and none of that stuff. So we gonna be two people that's gonna be sitting here bleeding out. And that to me, that's not practical. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
We can't say we want somebody and we messed up and we damaged on the inside.
Right.
What you think gonna happen after that? We gonna damage that person.
Mm-hmm.
And now instead of one damaged person, there's gonna be two damaged people. And what's gonna happen when that relationship ends? Now you got two damaged people going out damaging other people.
That's real.
I say
That's where we're at.
I say no to that. I say no to that. Brothers, heal yourselves first. It starts with you first.
Correct.
I had to learn that at 48 years old. I'm 51 now, but I had to learn that at 48 years old. That in order for me to move a certain way or to be in a certain space, I had to heal myself first. And that is, and believe you me, guys, you can't say that you're healed right off top. That's an ongoing journey.
Healing.
That's a marathon. That's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes, Lord.
But let that marinate real quick, because I know it's brothers listening in. I tell cats all the time too, like, take a break from dating women. Like, make sure you're straight financially, stable, spiritually, physically, a home and all this other good stuff. Make sure you got all that stuff intact before you go out and start dating women. Let that marinate real quick, because brothers got to understand that. Because for so long we've been told, like, yo, masculinity, manhood, real manhood is like having a bunch of women on your arms. Always having a woman on your arm, when truly, man, true manhood is standing on your own 10 toes, flat out, just you. You don't need do a woman compliment you? Absolutely. Do we need women? Absolutely. But that's not the end all be all when it comes to manhood. Masculinity, true manhood is like, listen, flowing in the place of healing. Fred, you touched on something real good. When men are healed, when we're complete, when we're whole, that's straight. We're going to be a woman is going to be a bonus to us. You feel me? And that's no disrespect, to our counterparts, to our women. But that's going to be a bonus when they come in because we're healed, we're whole, we happy. You feel me? We're not like people pleasers. We're not the Diedrich, what we spoke about. We're not the nice guy, but we are a good man. So I'm digging that right there. So Fred, thank you so much for like breaking that down as far as like men flowing in the place of being whole and being healed, because I've been there before, real quick. Because I've been there before, and I just touched on this on my recent podcast, Straight No Chaser with Phoenix Fire. I used to be in a place of identity crisis where I went around hurting women because I didn't know who I was, and because I didn't want when a woman got too close to me, I was afraid of commitment. So I ended up hurting them. And so for us, it's like I had to heal first. Once I got into a place of healing, getting to know me, growing and maturing, etc., then I could, be in a place of commitment and not fear. But when a woman got too close to me, I started to fear. And so now that I'm whole and I'm healed, now I can handle the responsibilities as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a godfather, as a mentor, as a leader, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So good stuff, man. I ain't gonna take on too much. I just wanted to make sure we steer this ship in the proper direction. When it comes to this is all of, man. Listen, one thing about me, I love listening to. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I love listening to my elders. I love listening to the old heads rock out and taking in that wisdom and that knowledge and that experience that you guys went to. I don't know about you, Johnny. I'm 36, bro. So honestly, I think I'm the youngest one on this crew, on this panel, on today, bro. I could be wrong. How old are you, fam?
You are. I'm 40.
I bet. So I'm the youngest cat. I'm the youngest cat on this panel right now. So I love listening to wisdom. Everything you brothers have spit, this is wisdom. This is knowledge. This is experience. This is good stuff. Brother Cole, I can tell you right now, fam, the reason you haven't found a quality woman is because you got on the wrong jersey, bro. If I'm not mistaken, that's a Washington, bro. That's a Washington Commanders jersey. You need to get the Cowboys jersey, fam. You switch it up. Get your cow. Get you a cowboy. Get you a Cowboys jersey. Get you a Cowboys jersey, right? And man, bro, you get all the women you need, bro. You get all the quality women. Yeah, man. No, I'm just messing with you, bro. I pray y'all have a good year. But listen, this is it right here. Go ahead, fam.
And this just Johnny made a comment. I wanted to address it. And this is just me. I'm pretty done with the topic, but I'm a passionate guy, right? And so I respect the opinions of everyone on this live, and I wanted to make sure that it's clear. Like, me and Big Coach we agree on more than we disagree about, but we're both passionate guys and about what we're talking about. So I don't want to get a perception that of ever disrespect on us, especially on this call. And I wanted to make sure that I was clear about that before we got off here. Everybody just kind of, passionate about their positions and stuff like that. But y'all see Miss Jocelyn said I do got the right jersey on, so right, we gonna roll with that. But I just wanted to be clear about the fact that I respect the opinion of everybody. I probably got more. We basically saying a lot of the same things in different ways. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to be on here today, and I just wanted to be clear about that. And and everything like that, and I'm pretty cool. And hopefully I get to cross y'all's paths again.
No, fam, no, you good, bro. We need, as men, we need that passion. We need that passion. That's why I say I appreciate you and Coach and Diedrich. Man, I appreciate Cat, Chad, Frederick, Johnny, all of y'all, man. I appreciate that passion because as black men, people need to see that because that shows that you care. It ain't, no, that's not it. It's not the passion. It's just, I know with podcasts, people, I mean, it's like it's I don't know, man. I can't call it, man. It's just a certain flow, whatever the case may be. Yeah, exactly, man. So no, it's not the passion, bro. We need that. Like that makes this that makes this great. If I can be honest with you, that makes this great.
Well,
we need that passion.
Coach, this is almost like a work call. This is like a C-suite of executives on a call versus what you see on other outlets, which is entertainment and everything else. So when you're on a C-suite call, you have different minds from different divisions, different channels that's diving in to get shit done. Okay. And so what we got going on. So Ms. J, what's the next question?
Well,
Well, hold on, man. I'm not done with the topic. I do apologize. I want to touch on the topic, man. I'm not, listen, I know my brothers, they rocked that and they did their thing, but I ain't even got a chance to touch on the topic. Let me rock out with the topic real quick. Yeah, absolutely. Submission and what did you say? Femininity, all of that good jazz right there. Let me rock out with the topic real quick. Balance. And I do believe Brother Chad touched on this a little bit. He used the word harmony. I'm gonna use balance, submission, and all. There we go. Submission is what I wanted to touch on. It's all about balance. And I hear my brothers, they went back and forth and all of this good jazz. We have a misrepresentation of men and women, old and young, all bottled up in the year of 2023 and 2024. Now, some of us, like Brother Deidre, we had conversation on the first go round. We think alike. So I'm like, them old school values and that old school mindset, fam, that works. I'm with that all day, every day. The thing is that we bring that into, somebody got a hot mic, check that for me. The thing is that we bring that into 2024, brother. Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough for us because it's a plethora of individuals who don't think like us. So it's gonna be difficult for individuals like me and you. Well, I'm married, but I'm just using us as an example. So it's gonna be difficult for us to like Brother Cole. It's gonna be difficult to find that quality woman or whatever the case may be. The thing is that we can't let a misrepresentation of how people act in 2024. That's not all of us. I dig what Coach was saying. I dig what Cole was saying. I dig what Deidre was saying. My man said two things can be true at the exact same time. And as I've gotten older and wiser, I've adopted that mentality. It's like, yeah, two things can be true at the exact same time. Yeah, it brings more peace in my life. I ain't got to debate all day, every day. I'm like, listen, you right and I'm right. Same time, but we have a misrepresentation of Black men and women. There's a small, and this is just my own personal study, my own opinion. There's a small percentage of us that act a complete fool, a complete jackass all day, every day. But when you look at the broad scheme of us as Black men and women, that ain't us all day, every day. Brother Chad, some cats will say that most of the men that they come across are their ops. But that's their enemy. They don't talk to them correctly or they don't look at them correctly. Man, when I come across Black men, they look me in my eye, they say good morning, and I say good morning back with a smile, like, brother, have a great day. And we keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Some cats, they don't have that opportunity, but they write that off as this is how all men are. And that's not even the case. And that's when it comes down, that's the exact same thing that comes down to Black men and Black women. We see the twerking, we see the women disrespecting their men, we see the men disrespecting their women. But that's a small percentage. And we're taking that small percentage and applying that to all of us. And that's not even the case. There are a lot of, I like what Coach said, and I like what Cole said. There are a lot of successful, great women out here. They got the bag and they know how to cater to a man. They know how to fry, the fried chicken. They know how to get the fried chicken right. And there are some women, there are some women out here, they got the bag and they can't even scramble an egg. I've said that before. It's on my Facebook page. I'm like, it's women that don't know how to scramble an egg, unfortunately. But that's a small percentage of that. For us as a collective group, Black men and Black women, we are great. We're fantastic. We're phenomenal. Honestly, that's why I want to bring that back to the balance of Black men and Black women. We're doing some great. I heard you. Hold on, real quick, DJ. We're doing some great stuff. Hold on, I know, bro. We're doing some great stuff out here, man. And I don't want that to get lost in the sauce. Black men and Black women are doing some fantastic things out here collectively, brother. And we're thriving, fam. And we got to make sure we continue to rock out there. I hear you, bro. And we rock out the exact same way, man. Man, you my brother from another mother. You just don't even know it. But listen, I don't want to go. I don't want to take that to the deep end where we take a 5% of unsuccessful twerk fest Black women and unsuccessful, phrased Black men and like label that as all of us. That's not even the case. But Coach, and I want to bring that. I want to bring that back to a circle.
But Coach, let me pause for 1 second. What's you okay, Coach? You have to understand. You're married. Okay, you're young. You're married, and so most of it is called older. So a lot of us been married. Okay, so we've been in the trenches and we've been, in the stands. So when I'm saying the fact, we've been in the game and we've been out of the game. And so what has happened, this life is not like it was 10 to 15 years ago. Social media changed the narrative because I always said before, us people of color, we had the church, Jet Magazine, Ebony, Black Enterprise, maybe the hairstyle books would control our narrative in our community. Now, there's no filter, okay? So we went from Michelle Obama as the epitome of a Black woman to Sexy Red overnight, okay? So we as people, we are we are consumer mindset type of people. And Darren, you understand it because we're in the same line with the same field. We are very consumer driven. So we go based on what looks good, what sounds good, it must be good, okay? And so what we're talking about is what is available out there, because the great women who are quality, they go from work, they make a beeline to the supermarket, and they make a beeline inside their garage in their house. They're not out in the streets, okay? You know what I'm saying? So, but what has happened as men, people, we have flesh. We want companionship. We want to meet and greet. And trust me, it is challenging. I'm not saying that every woman represent the streets, but you got to understand, you got to come with a type.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We don't establish a type. And I pledge to everyone, we know what works for you. I think Frederick hit on this earlier, is that you got to know, and Chad said this, I believe, you got to know what is great for you. You can't chase somebody that's not for you. Everybody is not going to be there for you. And trust me, some women love Frederick who going through tough times. Some women want to get into that maternal aspect. And then when you are fully masculine like Big Coach and Darren and Chad, then they're like, oh, no, I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? I can't save you. Because some women don't understand what true love is. They feel that if he sleeps with me, oh, he loves me. Or if he tell me all his problems, oh, he's lovable. He's not gonna go nowhere else. So it's all based on what space is she in her life and what space are you in your life. And once that
Big
comes
facts, bro.
together, it goes into Wonderland.
Big facts, bro. And I'm about to rest after this, man. But you said it best. Everyone, listen, man, everyone is not going to be for you. And my thing is that stop going after that small percentage, the Sexy Reds and whatnot. Where are the Angela Bassett's? You feel me? Where are the Felicia Rashads? Where the Pam Grier's at? You know what I mean? But honestly, bro, I'm out in the park during there every day, running and walking and whatnot, and I see some phenomenal sisters, polite, kind, all of that good stuff, man. Successful, man. Put yourself in that type of circle. Hold on, real quick, bro. Hold on, real quick, bro. Hold on, real quick, bro. Hold on, real quick. Hold on, bro. Hold on, real quick, bro. I ain't done, bro. Hold on. DJ, hold on, fam. Yo, hold on, bro. Hold on. Hold on, bro. No. Hold on. Hold on, bro. Yeah, man. Let me get my joint in, DJ. Hold on, bro. Brother. Hold on, bro. Hold on, fam.
Answer this question. What do you mean type? What do you mean successful? What is successful?
What is successful? Yes. Hold on now, bro. Let me finish my statement real quick, though, man. Ahead. But listen, bro.
Can we feel
I'm at the park. I'm at the park during there every single day. And I see Black women doing their thing, successful, polite, all of that good jazz right there. But the thing is fam, it's like, men, we need to put ourselves in that type of position. Like, it's women out there, but the thing is like, bro, if you on IG and you checking out the Sexy Reds and you want the Sexy Reds and you desiring the Sexy Reds, fam, at the end of the day, that's on you. Now, successful as far as it's hold on, bro. Hold on.
What I'm saying,
but that's what I'm saying, though, bro. But the thing is, no, bro. You said like you said everyone is not for you, but the thing is, if you're trying to make everyone for you, then that's your fault. My thing is fam, put yourself in the proper position to be desired. That's what I'm saying, fam.
I gotta agree with him. I gotta agree with Coach.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with Coach.
That's you're missing the point. What I'm trying to explain that is the fact you mean successful. What do we call successful? Coach, you've been out the game a long time, okay? So you got to understand it's the brothers who are in the game, okay? And realize the fact that there's a narrative, is a image out there. The women that you are married to, you're saying, that's not in full representation that I go meet at HEB in here in Houston, or I go to the Galleria, or I go to church. Most
You
of
need to go to
quality women
Dallas, fam.
are
That's your
in.
problem. You in Houston, bro.
I
You
don't
need to
think
go to
I don't
Dallas,
think
man.
there's a
baby.
lot of sexy
Where the
reds
potter's
out there.
house.
I don't
You
think
need
there's
to
a
go
lot
to
of those out
Dallas,
there.
baby. That's your problem, big bro. Did you? I could tell you, right, man. Listen, same thing. What went on with Cole, man? He got the wrong jersey on, and you in the wrong city, fam.
Man,
From
we
Houston, you need
are.
to go to that. Go up
I
45,
mean, and
45
no
south. Go
lie,
45 north. Go
it's
45 north, bro. Go to Dallas and
even
get you some good ones.
you got what I keep saying, Coach, is the fact that
I
is
hear you, brother.
you don't know a person, you don't know their story. It's a different meeting someone at 23. When I was in college, it's different from meeting when I was in college and when I'm meeting her now. She gone through a journey throughout the course of her life.
But so
And
have
you
you.
incorporating all of the rifts, the raft, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the trials and tribulations
We all
as you
have.
go through this
We're
path.
all doing that.
So,
We're
but I
people that's
understand it.
shaped by our experiences. Everybody's doing that, not just the
Yeah.
women. You doing it too. We're
But
all
no, when
shaped
I'm
by our
no,
experiences,
no, that's
male
not
and
disagree.
female.
Y'all missing the point. The point is the fact that we in a different time when the grandmamas are not grandmothers. Okay, the grandmamas right now they out there brunching up, having a good time, which is nothing wrong to do that. But again, what type of men have you brought into your life? You only good as the men that you brought into your life. Okay, because the man before me is a great man. It's gonna make life easier for me because everything is about choices. Who do you bring on your team? That's everything, man. That makes my job easy. Okay.
I
So
don't
I'm
know if
just
I
saying,
agree
coach,
with
I'm
that
not
because you
knocking.
might not be able to live up to the standard. What what
I know
what if she
I'm a,
what if
oh,
she
I
had a
understand.
Hold
great
on,
man
brothers.
that you can't
Hey, hold
measure
on,
up
brothers.
to?
Hold
I'm
on,
a
brothers,
stand.
man. Let's go to the Q and A,
I'm a
man.
stand.
Let's
But
let's
what if she had
hold
a
on,
great
man.
man you
Yes, man.
can't measure up to? That don't mean it's gonna be
Both of
great
y'all are
for
I'm a
hold
you.
on,
standard.
hold
I'm a
on, y'all are
standard.
both of
Yeah.
y'all are standards, man. Both of y'all are
Yeah.
kings, man. I love it, bro.
Yeah.
Let's
I
not go
love
there.
you
Let's go
back.
to the Q and A. Yeah, man. Let's go
Yeah,
to the
Jay, just
Q
roll to
and
the
A,
next question,
man.
please.
Let's go to the Q and A, man.
Right,
Let's
Still got
go.
a whole mess. We still got a whole mess of questions to get through.
I
Yep.
Yeah, let's go to the
Let's
Q and
roll.
A, man.
I know. Okay. So let's get started with this first question. I think how I'm gonna do this is because I want us to kind of get through as many of them as possible. So I'm just gonna assign people to certain questions and get you all to answer them that way. So big coach, I'm gonna let you take this first one here, and here we go.
Okay, gentlemen, what can a woman do to increase her value?
Simply respect yourself. Respect yourself and require that any get a very high standard. Relationships take on patterns very, very early. Require that any man that comes into your life, you hold him to that standard in terms of how he talks to you, how he treats you. Very early on, we keep I was saying that I'm finding it very difficult to believe that these brothers have struggled with finding quality women. Man, it ain't a long process. I could ask a woman I can tell you in 3 or 4 days, I can ask her 5 to 10 questions. I can scratch off my list quick. I ain't got to date her for 2, 3 weeks. I ain't got to date her for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. I can meet her, take her to Starbucks for coffee, have a conversation with her, and know whether or not I even need to text her the very next morning. It's just that simple. When you know who you are and what you want, it's sure. When you know what you don't want for sure, it shortens the pool. So what I would say for a woman increasing her value, take your respect level very, very high for yourself. Because usually what ends up happening in relationships is we attract exactly what we are. That's why I agree with the brother when he said, become a desirable brother. You will attract a desirable woman because she will already know before she steps to a desirable man, she got to have a couple of things in order. So I would just tell the sister, take your respect value for yourself very, very high because when you respect yourself, there's certain things you're not going to do. You're not going to let your physical discipline slip. So you're not going to become a fat woman. You're going to want to keep your man happy. So all the things these brothers over here, that's when you respect yourself. So I would say take your respect value for yourself very, very high. That increases your value tremendously.
All right, good answer, good response to that. Next question, I'm gonna give this one to Fred. All right, let's go.
Hello, my name is Tiffany, and in honor of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, I would like to know why men struggle to create safe spaces for themselves where they can unpack their emotions, talk about their mental health, process through those emotions amongst themselves.
The easiest answer that I can think of with that is history and what we've been taught as men. We weren't taught these things as men. I've said this more than one time before. Our fathers didn't teach us, their fathers didn't teach us, and their fathers before them didn't teach them either. That's a cycle. And we as men repeat that. We as men currently repeat that cycle. We don't create safe spaces for each other because of the stigma that surrounds mental health in men. One of the things that I try to do with my space is to create that safe space for us, because we need those spaces to be vulnerable with each other. We need those spaces to where we can talk about the things that affect us. Personally, I mean, individually as well as collectively, because there are things that we as men deal with collectively as well as things we deal with personally. Now, the personal stuff the personal stuff is basically personal stuff is yours, but the collective stuff is something that we all deal with on a collective basis. And if we can't attack those collective things, we'll never grow. We'll never be able to handle our individual things. Or let me reverse that. If we don't deal with our individual things that we deal with on a daily basis, as far as our emotional and mental health, then we'll never tackle the collective things. The collective things will still fester and swoon, and then that makes things worse. So we have to be able to create these safe spaces for each other. Like I said, my space is a safe space, and it doesn't matter who you are. I don't care your age or whatever. It's a safe space. You can come in and be vulnerable, and there's no judgment. One of the things we as men have to get out of, and I'm saying this because I'm saying it needs to be said. We have to get out of the stigmatization of being vulnerable with each other. We can't call each other soft because I'm telling you I have an issue, and this issue is bringing me a lot of emotional stress. Or if I can't come to you with real emotion and with tears in my face, and then you look at me and you scoff at me, that's not cool, man. We have to get out of that particular thing. Everybody says that it's just cool to be a man's man. That's to me, I call bullshit on that. Excuse my French. Because at the end of the day, and I'm gonna conclude with this, at the end of the day, we are humans first, men second. And every human being goes through the spectrum of emotions, the full spectrum of emotions. To not acknowledge them, to not embrace them, to not even deal with them, you as a man, you are doing yourself a disservice, a big disservice. So that's how I answer that question.
All right. So next up, we're gonna get Mr. Coles, Brother Coles, to answer this question. And here you go.
My question for the men is, how does God help them to choose a wife?
Well, the real you is your spirit. So when you look at who we are on the outside, that's not the real us. The real, that was what was made in chapter 2, your earth suit. The real you was made in chapter 1. And so because of that, then we should be if you're submitted into God, and God is communicated in spirit and truth, then your spirit has to be stronger than your flesh. And so your spirit has a way of kind of letting you know and guiding you in your submission unto the Lord. when in all of your decision making, whether it's picking a woman that's suitable for you, whether it's your direction and raising your children and all of those different things. Sadly, a lot of times I'm listening. There's so many of us, nitpicking biblical principles, and for years all we had was the Lord. Now so many of us don't even believe on the Lord anymore. And I think that without that, we can't be what we need to be. Um, because I don't care who you are, everybody has to be submitted to somebody, right? So if you're a man asking for a bunch of submission from a woman, but you're not submitted to a pastor, you're not submitted to God, you don't even have a mentor that you esteem above yourself, um, then everything that you're doing is going against biblical principle. And God created the system to work a certain type of way, and unfortunately, not unfortunately, but His word doesn't change for our circumstances. We have to conform to the word, and most of the time, we're not doing that. So I would just say that your relationship with God um, really kind of guides you in everything that you have, not just the vantage point of just picking a partner, even though it has a huge bearing on that. The Bible gives you, um, tells you kind of what a woman of God looks like. But I think that as men, sometimes we're picking women based on everything except that. We're picking them about how good they look and they talk nasty. We're not picking them about, we decide to do that. I think that everything works out for the good. I hope I answered your question.
Very good response, sir. Very good response. So, my next question, I am going to give this one to Coach Chris. All right, let's go ahead.
Hey, fellas. My question is, does a woman's body count matter? Being her sex partners could be either men or women, maybe both, in her past relationships before her getting with you. Is that something that would be a no-go or off the table as far as taking her serious? Or would you keep her as a sneaky link, or would it be a complete no for you? Let me know.
Yo, man, I was about to say, man, look, I was like, man, I'm like, yo, I'm so glad brother Cole asked the previous one because I felt like that was the hardest one. But then you hit me with this. I'm like, jeez. Man, listen, at the end of the day, I am a accountability partner and an advocate for men. And I'm going to speak as a man. Yes, it can be an issue. And hold on, and this is just reality. Man, now I don't subscribe to men should be, diving in and ask. I mean, if they choose to ask, that's them. But I don't subscribe to like, yo, this is a question that's at, the Cheesecake Factory and y'all having dinner, whatever the case may be, and y'all fellowshipping over some chicken wings. Like, yo, what's your body count? No, I don't subscribe to that. But I'm like, yo, if the guy finds out you've been with like 20 dudes, 20 different brothers, it is going to cause an issue. And that's just reality. And that's just real. I'm just keeping it a buck and 100 with y'all. Same thing with if you got 6 kids, about 6 different baby daddies, it's like you may have an issue with finding a good quality brother to wife you. And that's just reality. So the body count thing, it is real. I'm not sure who came up with it, why it came about, or whatever the case may be, but it is a real thing. Brothers will take issue with that. One or two or three fellas, I mean, yeah, one or two or three fellas, they can kind of bypass that. But if like, yo, man, if he find out you've been with like 10 dudes within, a 2 year span or whatever the case may be, that's going to like decrease. That we spoke about value earlier. Whoever that was that took on that question, that's going to decrease your value as wifey material. And I'm just being honest. And that's just what it is at the end of the day. I hate to say it, but I'm not going to get on here and lie about it. It's a reality. It's like, if you body count is a real thing. Men take that serious, and honestly, to be honest, women take that serious too. We like to put that emphasis on men, but women take that serious too. If we've been out here with like 20, 30 different chicks and we bang them down, y'all gonna label us all kinds of like fools and, excuse my language, whores and all this other stuff. But it's like, y'all expect for us to be okay with y'all's body count? No, ma'am. No, sir. So yeah, so the body count is a real thing. If you have a high intense number of men you've been with sexually, yeah, it's going to decrease. It's going to make it difficult at the end of the day. And not to veer out too much, but soul ties is a real thing. And I don't know too many brothers who want to deal with, I think somebody mentioned it earlier. They don't want to deal with Pookie and Ray Ray and Johnny and Little Flip and Two Money Bags, all this other stuff. We ain't trying to deal with all that. We ain't trying to deal with those soul ties from back in the day. I do apologize. Well, no, I don't apologize, but it's just a real thing. And listen, it just is what it is at the end of the day. And that's it, man. I love y'all, yo.
All right, next up, we're going to have Brother Chad answer this question. And here we go.
Hey guys, what is your desired component in a woman to consider her for marriage?
It's coming straight out of nowhere. It's in the nature of notes from jurors. You can't control what happens.
Uh-oh, who
Okay.
is that?
I'm gonna wait for her to finish. Okay, so this is going back to a point that I think I've made not only in this show, but I think across all three shows. What comes to when it boils down to desiring a woman for marriage, even like what Brother Fred was saying earlier, and I have to know what it is. I have to know me. I have to know me. I have to know what I like and don't like. I have to know what's going to work, what's going to be suitable for me in marriage, what's not going to be suitable for me. I have to understand what's going to catapult me to, new heights and this, that, and what's going to help me evolve. I have to look at me and understand how I work and how I function, right? If I look at myself and I'm a Ferrari, I'm not putting regular gas in me. I'm not putting, standard oil. I don't even know what type of oil Ferraris use, but I know I figure since it's a high performance machine, it must require high performance everything, right? High performance tires, high performance, all that stuff. So I have to understand my design first before I look at any woman like, oh, is you good? Because I have to understand what my purpose is in order for me to add you to it. Right? Because root word of relationship is relate. So if I'm looking at you like you can't relate, I have to understand what my foundation is to be able to look at you and say, okay, you relate well. You relate kind of sort of okay. Next, you got it. You got it. Right? And you have it to a point of consistency, to a point of maturity, to a point of integrity, to where I can look at you and be like, I'm cool. Like I understand that you got me. I understand that I fit how you move. You fit how I move. Right. That's why when scriptures talk about it, not even just the Bible, but most religious texts, when they talk about joining together and being, being equally, suited to each other or being equally yoked and stuff like that, they're talking about being complementary. All right. I don't need you to be just like me. I need you to flow with me. And in order for me to truly understand what that means I need to be operating as best as I can and also in a mindset of learning more, because it's a journey, not a destination. And being able to look at a woman who's saying, all right, I see you. I like that. Here's what I'm doing that I think lines up with you. And we're looking at it. That's why I say relationships it's an art and a science, because the art is in the I love yous and the emotions and feeling all the feels and stuff like that, and being able to convey that to each other. And then it's a science in terms of me being able to look at this other human being and saying, do we align? Do you think similar to are you going in a similar trajectory? Not to say that you think exactly the way that I think, but are we going in similar trajectory to where I can say for life, I know that I can continue doing what I'm doing, and I know that you run parallel to me. So, and that's no small thing. The vetting process, I could run a seminar on what the vetting process should really be, because like I think it was either Darren, a big coach, that said, it was either Darren coach or Dedrick that said it. That said, back in the day we didn't date. It was bringing the two families together, seeing if they were compatible, and
we got involved.
And the parents, the two sets of the family, they went into like observation mode. Like, all right, is your daughter suitable for my son? Is she, my son likes to talk. Is she going to be able to meet him conversation wise? My daughter, she likes to be in the kitchen, and my son going to be able to bring in, suitable amounts of resources for her to be able to work her magic in the kitchen, so on and so forth. And that vetting process is crazy. That's why when I hear people that's like, oh, I don't like to talk about myself, then you can't be in a relationship then. You gotta know, men and women both. You got to know, and you have to be able to convey it. Last time I checked, we ain't figured out how to do mind reading yet. You have to be able to convey that, and you have to know something to be able to convey it. So that's it. Yeah, somebody just said in the comments, data collection. Yes, it's data collection and risk management. That's some more on some financial stuff, but it's that. It's an art and a science. You have to be able to juggle both. And to the men and women who can juggle both, who can handle both, who do the work to understand themselves, and then being able to present that self, that genuine self, to another person and have them be able to relate properly, consistently, efficiently, that's who you marry. That's who you roll with. I'm done.
All right. Thank you so much for that. All right. So next up, we got Brother Johnny. Let me go ahead and give you this question, sir.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Hey, sister, and the esteemed panel brothers. I'm LHG. I'm the host of Critical Conversations on Trailblazers with the Z Radio. My CEO is on this panel. I've got a question for you. How much grace are you able to give a sister when you see that she does something or says something that seems irrational? Are you willing to ask a few questions, get to know where she's come from, and really find out why, who, when, and get to know who that woman is to her core? I really want to know.
Okay, Johnny, can you handle that one?
Dang, why me?
The face he made was like, ugh.
I mean, you can pass it if you want.
Anyone y'all want those guys? Because I think that was deep.
I help out.
Okay, go ahead,
and I'll be real quick on it. As when you're married, and guys like you said, coach who are currently married, and others who are married and been married, you have to have a margin of error. Okay, all team members are not going to be great in running the ball, catching the ball, making great tackles. You got to focus on what they're great at, and anything they do that there's things that do with the intent to hurt, and there's things you just because you just made a mistake. That's life. It goes to the margin of error. Nobody's perfect. So so if you don't want the person, you want to weigh out, or you want to create chaos and animosity and strife, then anything that's gender fluid. Don't make it what gender you are. You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna look for gaps, issues, concerns, or anything to blow up. That's normal. So it's all come based on what type person and what space they are in their life. So I hope that answers your question. But you just hope that you with a rational person, and you just have to ask the question when you first meet someone: do you have a margin of error? Okay, and if they can't answer that, run away. If they can answer, break it down and go all in so you can establish a level of comfort. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Man,
Thank you.
coach, I'm sorry, man. Coach kind of like sparked something in my mind real quick, man. So D, you spot on with what you're saying. My thing is that let's say the thing that you do well or the thing you're supposed to do well and you don't do it well. You know what I mean? And you continue to not do it well. And it's like, when do you step in and be like, okay, race is out the window. Like, what's up? Like I'm taking care of my 120. Where's your 120 yet?
Well, I think you spoke on this earlier, Coach. I'm not a big fan of proportion, dividing out, stuff. I mean, it's a family, so we don't. That's that baby mama, baby daddy mentality. I'm only gonna match this, and I'm gonna do what I match. No, we help each other out. Again, I can't expect an individual to be great in making grits. Okay. Grits, you can go to 20 Waffle Houses from Dallas to Houston to Atlanta and Baton Rouge, and they all make it different. Okay, so some running, some thick, some perfect. So again, if I got an old school rule, and this is gonna make sense to your coach. If you can't do it right, then somebody else do it for me. So if she can't do it right, I'm gonna do it for her. And if not, we gonna contract something out to get it done. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's gonna get done. But I'm not gonna destroy. I'm not gonna make. And so any kids listen to this, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to mute this call. I'm not gonna do anything to make the pussy dry because of some petty shit. Okay, bottom line. Okay, so that's a public service announcement for everybody. Okay, so why do something that's gonna make the pussy dry for the night over some petty shit? Stop acting like your bitch ass mama. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And man up like your dad. Okay, thank you. Next, hope that answers your question, Coach. And that's a great question, man.
All right, next question. I'm coming back to you, Johnny, so don't get too comfortable. With the next question, I'm gonna get this one to the big coach. Here you go.
My question to you, man, is how do you believe couples can navigate through the challenges of rebuilding trust after an incident of cheating? Thank you.
You're wrong for that. You're so wrong for that. Shout out to CC. Okay, go ahead, big coach. Go ahead.
I can only speak from my personal experience. Okay, and that's often what I draw upon is my own personal experience. I don't think couples ever really make it back once infidelity has entered into the relationship. Whether they continue to go on and stay together or they don't, I don't think you ever restore and rebuild trust once it's been broken. I do believe that most women get to a place where they just deal and accept, but I don't think you ever get to a place where you can repair or reparate once you've broken trust. And one thing that I know for sure is that usually once a man has broken a woman's trust, and in no certain terms, men typically don't take women back that cheat. We can't take it. We just can't take it to know that another man's been playing in our garden. We just can't handle that, man. So men typically never come back from that, and the women that do, they just accept and they deal. But I do know for a fact that more often than not, every time she sees you, whether she says it or she does not say it, it's in the back of her mind about what you did, who you did it with. When you leave home, she has questions. So I don't ever think you make it back to a place of being whole once you break that bond and that trust. I just think people accept and deal. And I don't think men typically, they never recover from that. That would be my answer.
That's true.
And I'm gonna add on to what Coach just mentioned. It gets to a point when can you forgive and forget? Okay, man, brother, let me hold on that icy, man. That's an old school treat, brother. Man, straight up Kmart, man. Kmart, That was Kmart finest, man.
You got it.
You don't know about that Kmart life.
Right on it.
You don't know about that Kmart life, but that icy. And can you forgive and forget? And that goes on both sides. And that it could be from cheating, it could be a major blow up that, and the problem is that it goes back to First Corinthians. It talks about in the one of the biggest scriptures in the Bible that talks about how you live life is love. And when it says love is patient, love is kind. And the most powerful verse, it keeps no record of wrong. Okay. So if you're going to keep a scorecard of that wrong, that relationship is over. I don't care what kind of Fendi purse you buy. I don't care if you take her to Dubai, to Tokyo, and back to Dallas on American Airlines at DFW. It doesn't make a difference because she is in the back of that mind is going to be constantly reminded of that pain. It could be you going out having, and this is a true story, guys. I can be turned around going out and having a doggone dinner, you know what I'm saying, with a young lady who a potential client. And the perception could be that I'm getting with her, didn't even touch her, okay, whatsoever. But just the perception that is because, again, now it's become the kryptonite of our community now. And I'm not going to say all delegations of our community, but a good vast majority, several delegations of our community, that the C word, cheating, okay? Back in the days, used to be you put your hands on. So every generation have a trigger. Okay. And it went from putting your hands on me because, to now you're cheating. And the question is, that's a whole nother conversation, another given day. But we have to come to a point. If you're going to forgive me, you got to let it go. Because if you ain't going to let it go, we're going to be both in the living hell. And life is too short for all of that. But great question for that, Missy. Mm-hmm.
No problem. I've got one more video, but I've got some other questions too. So I'm gonna kind of tag team y'all a little bit, and however many of you want to answer those questions, we can knock those ones out. But for my last video, I'm gonna go ahead and let's see here. I'm gonna give this one, Johnny. I'll go ahead and give you this one. I had another question for you, but I'm gonna give you this.
I'd like to know, why do men cheat? Why do you step outside of the marriage or relationship and seek other women? Is it that you're not happy at home, or is it that you want to just explore other things with other women? What is it? What's the reason?
Y'all love me, don't y'all?
You know what? I can't with y'all. I can't. Go ahead.
Okay,
swinging for the fences, bro.
I swear, they love me. They love giving me them questions.
I'm here for it.
First of all,
so am I, Chad. I'm here for it.
I can only really speak for myself, right? I don't know why other men step out of their relationships or their marriages, but I could kind of, throw some hints out there. They're with the wrong woman, or they're not happy with themselves, or they're not following God as they should. It's all different type of reasons that people step out in their marriages and cheat. Some men wants to be with some men can't get enough when they cake and eat it too. Some step out because they think they're not secure with themselves. It's multiple different reasons that people cheat. I just can't give you one because I feel like as a man we should step up because real men don't cheat. And before we even decided to get in a relationship, a commitment, we should get ourselves right and be ready before we make that move. So a lot of people, I feel like they just move and they get in relationships because they found that person, but they haven't found themselves yet. So before they lose that person, they try to go ahead and move fast, and then they're not right with themselves, so they end up cheating. Or, it's plenty of different occasions besides just cheating, lying, stealing. I mean, we got to be truthful with ourselves first before we be truthful with somebody else. Period. So.
I like that. Thank you so much, sir. You know what? All right, so let me do this. I'm gonna double back and give you another one. You know, since you kind of fumbled the first one. So this question is for you, brother Johnny. Are 40-plus-year-old men looking to date with purpose or pleasure?
Purpose for sure. Uh, and I just turned 40, so that's definitely we dating with purpose. Before that, it was definitely it wasn't purpose. We were just kind of living and finding our way. But at 40 years old, we're dating with purpose because it gets to a point where now who's going to be that person that's going to take care of you? Who's going to change your uh, if we get sick, who's going to be there when we lose these looks? Who's going to be there for us? Are they going to send us in the old folks homes? Who's going to hold the household down? Who's going to take care of finances just in case that we're not able to, and the older we get? um and like, what else we here for at the 40 years old? You know what I mean? Besides finding that family and leaving a legacy behind. You know what I mean? So, at 30, at 30 years old, I think women become women before men become men. So usually we start dating younger, a little bit younger than us because they're already a little bit ahead, But most men, I feel like, I don't know for y'all, but most men I see, we usually date down instead of up. But we definitely got a motive, and we know what we want at a certain age. At the 40, I can speak for all men for this. We all know we should know what we want at 40 years old. We should have it together at 40 years old and knowing who we are to knowing what we want and setting ourselves up to have what we want and what we need in life. So, yes, at 40, I think we have to have, we have to date with purpose. And purpose is to doing what God wants us to do and being with that purpose and creating the next person that's going to maybe change the world or something or do something spectacular. That's how I feel.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that. Darren, Mr. Coles, this question is for you, sir. All right.
Yes.
Is it true that men change for the right woman? Is it true that men change?
I will say yes, right? But I will say yes, but
Damn.
this is one of those two things can be true at the same time statements, right? I feel like um I feel like when you out here, no one can put your integrity inside of you. No one can put that in you. I feel like you are who you are when it comes to what you're looking for. So, for instance, if you're a cheater, you're gonna be a cheater. I don't care what nobody offers you. Nothing is ever gonna be enough. So that's an integral thing, right? But I do, and I have seen circumstances where a lot of brothers don't even know what they want until they meet the woman that they want to be with, right? And when you love a woman a certain way, your love for her drives you for better sometimes, right? Um, growing up, I didn't know how to manage money, to be honest with you. One of my girlfriends, kind of taught me how to manage and stuff like that. Now, my foundation came from her, but I learned through the years and created spreadsheets and stuff like that. But I loved her, and I understood even then that my decisions affected her. So you want to always be able to offer your best foot. So I do believe that if a man loves a woman, he is going to make some changes because either he knows he can't remain the same and stay with her. At the same time, a real man is already understanding that to be who he needs to be, he has to make changes. So that's why it's like um, I'm saying that it's not one or the other. It's though these are two things to be true.
Good response. Good response, sir. I wanted to kind of piggyback on that too, because I feel like even with that, that kind of goes both ways. Because, say for instance, you meet a woman that may not be at her best, so to speak, right? And I know they say you shouldn't date potential, right? That's a no no,
That's
right?
reality.
That is. But my thing is, say for instance, even as you were stating that you learned a lot from this particular woman, which helped to cultivate you into the man that you are today. That was a foundational piece that she gave you. My thing is that also something as a man that you can, I guess, work with a woman with? So, say for instance, if she's lacking in a certain area, so to speak, and you are now in a position where you may be able, say for instance, finances, right? A woman may not be good in finances, and you're great with it now. Would you be more willing to assist her in that area? Or if she doesn't come already correct or with the knowledge base that you have, will you just eliminate her altogether?
But listen, everybody has weaknesses, right? Everybody has some things that they do better than the other. Now, I work in financial services, right? To be honest with you, women tend to multitask better than us, right? So when you watch women, when people come into my office, I ain't trying to be funny, but it's usually the woman that make the decision. You think and listen, if I talk to 10 families, if the woman is only in my office, she can tell me what her husband makes. She can tell me where the money goes. She can tell me how they spend money. She can tell me how much money they go into savings. She know his social, her social, all the kids' socials. She can basically tell me everything about her house. If the dude come in my office, he don't know nothing. He got to call his wife. Sometimes he don't even remember what year she was born. He don't know the kids' information. He barely know his, right? And at the end of her meeting, if she wants what I'm offering, she gonna call. She might make a phone call and say, "Honey, I'm sitting here. What you think?" And then I do it. 9 times out of 10, if the dude is in my office, I gotta go home and talk to my wife. He won't make the decision. He can't make the decision. I'm telling you what the truth is, right? So there are certain things that women are a lot of times they're just better at than us as far as certain things. Aces need to be in their places. I'm a country boy. A woman that can't cook nothing to eat, I ain't got no use for her. But then you got a lot of men that like to cook. So you understand what I'm saying? So if and I can cook. So don't get me wrong about that. But I don't have no use for no woman that can't cook nothing to eat because I work a lot of hours. And if I fool around and come home and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I need something to eat. Now, some guys love to cook, so the woman don't have to worry about cooking and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But there are certain things I'm not going to ask her to do, right? If I'm married, and I was married for 18 years, when I was sick, I'd have been through cancer and everything. My wife ain't never cut no grass. She ain't never had to work part time. She ain't never had to do nothing about worried about bringing extra money into the house because I dealt with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not asking her to do anything out of like that. Now, obviously, there are times where you need. Okay, I'm used to doing this, but I might need some support while I'm down, and I ain't even mad I ain't even mad at it. But I just think that there are times where you are good at a thing. I think that Chad said it earlier, spoke on it, but if just because you're the man don't mean that you have to necessarily do everything. Sometimes when you're the leader, you need to know who and what to delegate stuff to. That makes you the leader. God put something in your wife that you need, right? So just because a lot of dudes want to dominate, they're not allowing her to be the woman of God that she's supposed to be sometimes, and that's on us. Um, but having said all of that, the aces need to work in their places, and everything is not going to be the same for everybody. So where I need a woman, where I got expectations for a woman, and making something to eat. Coach Chris might not give a daggone if she can cook or not. He might say I come home every day and cook. He might be babyface. And I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind going in there a couple times a week. But I don't feel like I need to be in there more than she in there. I can promise you that.
Yeah, look, brother Cole, man, listen, I'm a country boy from Italy, Texas, man. Listen, I feel you on that. I feel you on that cooking
It's a
part, brother.
suburb
You
of
good
Dallas
with me, man?
on the other way, but you know.
Yeah, you get. But listen, it's the same thing, baby. It's the same thing.
But grace and mercy kind of swings the pendulum, right? We need grace, right? There's gonna be some things we can't do. I was married for 18 years. I don't like to wash dishes. My wife washed the dishes every day for the most part. She just said take it to the sink. But at the same time, while I don't like to wash dishes, I ain't just slaving her either. I just took the laundry. So I did the laundry for the house, bought it, folded everything, and then they put their stuff up, right? I don't mind doing laundry, right? I don't know what it is about standing in front of that sink. I can't stand washing a dish. I don't care if it's a spoon. I don't want to wash it. I just want to set something in there. Or if I need a dishwasher or something like that. But I don't mind doing the laundry. I'm kind of funny about my bathroom. I don't even mind cleaning the bathroom for real because I like how I clean it. There's certain things I'm funny about. You know what I mean? So you just gotta figure out what kind of work for you because what work at my house might not work at Chad's, might not work at Chris's, might not work at Deidre's. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's house gonna run different.
But Darren, and I know Michelle, I know you got another question, but Darren already, you got alpha males and you got beta males, okay? And so, you have some alpha males that, and I have a lot of clients and who very on top of their stuff. And you have the women, so it's not really gender fluid, it's just all based on who you bring as your team. Some running backs run between the A and B gap, some running backs will never touch the end, but they like to run on edges. So it is all based on the alignment that you have as a team. And what you don't like you said, all the things you don't like, half the women may say, hell no, you better pick behind your goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? You know that, but it's all based on having somebody who in alignment to your values. Everything goes down to values. Yeah.
Hold on. Did you say alpha males and beta males?
Yes, sir. I sure did, man.
Can we please stop doing that?
Well, okay, I'll give you that. Sips and real brothers.
No. There's a reason why I said that.
Talk to me, man.
That's a mentality based on pack animal behavior.
True that.
Are we animals? Are we animals? Yes or no?
We are animals.
We are mammals.
That's right.
Each other.
All right.
So that type of behavior is a social structure of pack animals.
I give you that.
Hyenas, wolves, lions have prides, but it's still pack animals. Are we not pack animals? We don't live in packs like that. We're social creatures, but we're not pack animals. But we're not.
But
Let me ask Frederick a follow-up question on that. You guys, you're on mine. So Frederick, do you think, again, you got to understand, we went through slavery or almost, I'll be 160 years this year. Okay. And then we went from slavery to Reconstruction, to the Renaissance, to Jim Crow, civil rights, and modern day bullshit we got now. Okay. So through the course of the Black family, and I'm speaking specific in our community, where that, you had, Black men who were leaders, who were involved in their homes and everything else. Over the course, since the white liberalism kind of took that away from us over the last 50 years, to be exact, almost now. My question to you, do you see a difference of how men are raised? Because it's like it's a difference, because I'm used to seeing, when I see Chris on the street, what's up, bros? We wave, we give the dab, we give the finger, we do whatever to acknowledge one another. But it's like now I see these guys that is almost like they in bitch mode. And that's why I'm not, and they act that way in every aspect of their life. Is a true embedded behavior. Do you see there's a separation in that, Frederick? In your eyes and your observation, or guys, y'all could all chime in.
It is, but to the way I see that, there's if we talk about alpha, beta, sigma, whatever that, to me that stuff doesn't exist.
It does.
Okay. It don't exist. Either you gonna act like you're a man, or you ain't gonna act like you're a man. Period. Point blank. That's how that goes.
I agree. I agree.
But that's alpha and beta though. That's alpha, but that's alpha and beta.
No, that's not alpha beta.
It's only speaking about aggression, a dog, or where you're sitting at. You sit here and watch some dude that's sitting in the back, ain't got no leadership, watching this woman lead. He taking all the responsibility. He's sitting back in the cut. Everything will go. He ain't got nothing to say. He don't run his own house. I'm just saying, there is a level of expectation of who you're supposed to be as a leader,
Mm-hmm.
and so
But
it's not the same now, so if hey, I ain't sitting here, and not to say that everybody does everything great, but if ain't nobody
It's
gonna
an effort.
question who lead my house. I'm just gonna tell you what time of day it is. Now that don't mean that I'm sitting here slaving some woman or sitting there trying to be extra aggressive per se. But at the same time, let me tell you something. If I'm married, and I told my wife this years ago, if we lose everything we got, won't nobody gonna say, what in the world was she doing? And they ain't got nowhere to go. You know what they was gonna say? What was Darren doing? And now they ain't got nowhere to go. Why that man let them not have nowhere, a roof over their head? They ain't got nothing to eat in their house. What the world was he doing and stuff like that? And when I got to take that level of responsibility, if we don't agree, 10 times out of 10, I'm gonna go with me. I ain't no soft dude sitting here talking about, because back then, whether you talking Bible or whether you talking even in the later days, Moses saw a burning bush on the mountain. And he ain't go home and said, baby, you know what? I saw this bush burning, and he told me he was the Lord thy God and asked me to go free the people. What you think? That ain't what he did. He went home and said, the Lord told me something, and this what we gonna do. And you know what she did? She followed him. That's a leader, right? Beta dudes are not leaders, dog. They looking for somebody else to lead them, but sitting there wanting a whole lot of rewards. There is a difference. That's why they call it that, right? You got a line. The one that get all the tail and the pride is the alpha, right? He had to fight to be the head guy. Okay. The beta dude, he ain't got no guts. Okay. Go out here and get your hom-poms whooped in front of your woman and see how safe she feel in front of you. I'm just telling you right now, dog. It's a real thing. You might not want it to be real, but it's a real thing. It don't change because you don't like it.
I ain't saying I didn't like it, but social constructs social constructs. Let's just put it like this: social constructs have always gotten us as black men and women tossed the fuck up.
True.
In some ways, Doc, but social constructs, I don't necessarily believe in it. That's why we are now. Social constructs got people not knowing what pronouns to use. You know what? I ain't trying to be disrespectful to nobody, but dog, if you a fool around and you stand up to pee, you a dude. If you sit down to pee, you a female, right? A person can say what they want to say. Women ain't got prostates. God made you to work a certain kind of way. I don't care who you are. You can sit here, you can change anything you want to change about yourself. But guess what? You are who God made you to be, and that don't change. So if you a daggone woman that think you was born a dude, and then you fool around and get ovarian cancer, then tell me what you are. Because I'm gonna tell you how your body was made. Men don't have ovaries. If you a dude that think you was a woman and then you 50-some years old and got prostate cancer, God don't put prostates in women, doc. You a woman. Now, if you want to be gay, then whatever, I ain't hating on nobody, but I'm not gonna act like I ain't looking at a grown man with a beard and mustache with a voice deeper than mine talking about I'm she. I'm not doing that. And they can and you can take and the only reason that I might take it a little bit is because of what I do for a living. And I'm out on these social, and that's how come I kind of hesitate to come on platforms like this, because people will hear something I'm gonna say opposing, and this thing I ain't got clients because of it, because I don't know who actually sees these videos. But people get stupid every day. I don't have time to do. What am I supposed to act like everything I've ever learned in life is wrong, dude? There's been for 2,000 years. You done had 2 bathrooms. Now I need 6. Why I need 6? Do I need if you need me to really tell you that I'm a dude that can't win no races, so now I'm gonna say I identify as a woman and run track against females and then win all the races, right? Tell me a person ain't got don't see nothing wrong with that. I ain't got time to be pacifying and holding nobody's hand. You know what I'm saying? They don't have common sense says that men were born with more testosterone. I don't care what woman you got. They can sit there and look like a dude and all that. They can crunch and do all the crunches they want. Their stomach won't 6-pack as like a natural man because their body was made to have children. And naturally speaking, based on how God made you, it's just not going to be that way. I'm just
I
telling you
love
what
it,
the truth
brother
is.
Darren. That's good stuff. Hold on, real quick, DJ. I'm gonna be like, hold on, Rick. It's gonna be 2 seconds, bro. Hey man, shout out to Men's Mental Health Month and shout out to Father's Day and Juneteenth. Man, listen, y'all go ahead and rock out. I just had to put that out there. Men's
Oh no,
mental
you
health month. We
good.
doing
You
it, man.
good. There
Right.
was a young lady that just I can't remember her name. She just put a Facebook on Zingra, and she was making a comment. I'm paraphrasing. She was talking about that some women, want to be, dominant. Or yeah, some women. Yeah, she said some women want to be men, and those extra strong women taught us that we don't need a man. Remind us of that daily, and it's wrong. You know, again, those are white feminists. You know, talking points they have embedded into our mindset. And that started back during the creation of the separation of the black family, in which I'm praying to God that it don't go into our brown folks, because once our brown folks are Hispanic and the Latinos, that happened to them, this nation is destroyed, okay, in my opinion. Because the family is what keeps things brings sanctity into our lives. And so, but all that's coming based on is the foundation. Everything's all based on your foundation. How you grow up? Did you grow up where is that just because mom and dad ain't together don't mean that daddy ain't in your life or other men in your life? And I'm talking about model men, not like Cole was like brother Cole was saying that that Cole was saying that these men don't know anything, because daughters looking at that, because the women that I want to be with, I deal with daddy's girls. Okay, I knew what my sweet spot was. And if that woman has a father, that father set the standard. Like I said, the dad is the first man who told she that you're beautiful, you fine, you good looking, and you better looking than your mama, because it comes from me. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And she heard that from her daddy. That sets the tone, and his character sets the tone. It's the minimum standards, and then she gonna bring a man in her life that's gonna par or exceed. And so a lot of it comes based on the foundation. And like the gentleman that was here earlier, big coach, you got to have real tough conversations up front to find out what your foundation is. Ms. J, I know you got another question. You on mute, Ms. J.
I do have another question. All right. I'm gonna give this one to you, Chad. And then I've got 3 more. Why don't men just come out as poly instead of sneaking and cheating in the name of monogamy?
Huh? Where did it come from? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not laughing because it's funny, but
wait, all right, so I gotta ask, did you mean to give me, did you have this one saved in the wings for me? Because I speak on this.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I figured that you would have more insight opposed to anyone else in the group.
You're absolutely right. So speaking as a man who does practice, who successfully practices polyamory, I think a lot of men can't handle it's almost the same reason why most men can't handle a woman cheating, like because of that notion of sharing. They can't handle they can't, like it's got to be their woman and their woman alone. And I think that's an overreach for a lot of men, honestly. Being in a successful relationship now for the last 2.5 years, and having been poly since 2018, I could tell you there's a lot of benefits that come from it, and then there's a lot that I've learned from it. There's a lot that has benefited me from it, and thankfully my relationships have been cheat proof because of it, because of that level of openness and honesty, and because of the standards and guidelines that we have in place in it. That it's not for the weak of heart. 2, it's not an answer to you having a shitty relationship. I'll tell you that much. When I talk about the level of healing and maturity and integrity and the skills as terms of quality communication, time management that you have to have, there's too many people out there who say they do it, and unfortunately they do it wrong.
That's like work.
They do it. It is work. It is work. And it's work that yields, for me, speaking for myself, it's work that yields benefits that make the work worth it. I'll say that. there's a lot that I have gathered from. There's a lot that I've gathered from myself, gathered about myself that have actually allowed me to become a better man physically, a better man emotionally, mentally, socially, even professionally. That's benefited from that. So why don't more men do it? Aside from the just standard thing of quality of character and just understanding your persona and understanding that it's not going to work for it, it's just not going to fall in the wheelhouse for a lot of people. Even for those people who it does fall in the wheelhouse for, there's a lot of things that you have to specifically process in order for you to do that functionally. If you're not a good communicator, don't do it. If you don't know how to manage yourself emotionally, don't do it. Because it's gonna pull on those things, and it's very much the only difference between that and a monogamous relationship is how many people are involved. Because other than that, everything else is the same. It's the getting to know you process. It's the figuring out the how complimentary you are, and I'll say, in addition to the only other difference being how many people are involved, you have to be considerate of not just how well the next person gets along with you. You have to be circumspectful in terms of understanding how the next person gets along with y'all, because the energy that you get from one person, you got to remember you're carrying it over into the other one. Why? Because you're the common point. So you have to be able to look at, let's say if I have girlfriend one and I'm looking at girlfriend two, and girlfriend one and girlfriend two are night and day in terms of them being able to communicate, and they don't get along with each other, somebody's got to go, because I need balance. I need harmony in order for that to work. Just like in a monogamous relationship, even though it's just between me and the next person, it has to extend to the other person. So if I'm dating two people, I'm automatically thinking, okay, I'm getting to know you. You're here. I'm getting to know you. But I also have to be like, not even if, but when y'all meet, I need y'all to. I need, and I'm telling it to both of them. I need to have an understanding that y'all get along with each other as well, because the energy matters. The energy absolutely matters. And that's something that if you're a man who's going to do it, and I would say this to anybody who's trying to do it, but especially if you're a man who's trying to do it, these are the things that you have to have in play. And that's another reason why I think a lot of men don't do it, because they're not even there. They could, but I don't think a lot of them are even there to be able to listen. Some of us men can barely handle what we do with ourselves, let alone and can't even manage a standard monogamous relationship. You trying to add something? You trying to add another woman to the mix? Like that's like relax. Check yourself on that for real. All right, I've been able to successfully do it for 2.5 years. All right, and that says something. All right, ask me more detail. Ask me more details about what it took for me to get there, instead of why whether or not you would do it. But
I mean, I guess my only thing is, based on what you just said, is, I mean, hell, if I can just add another one to the fold, how hell, it ain't a challenge to stay committed in a committed relationship, because I mean, hell, but you got
it's
multiples.
very
Like,
committed. It's
I'm not saying committed. You don't. Them only people committed is them. You're not committed to society. You just committed to doing what you want to do. Because if you decide you want another, you are add a third. So it's not you. You don't have the challenges that us dudes being committed to one woman and trying to be monogamous, and then you sitting there talking about the challenge of being in a committed relationship. That mess ain't committed. If you get to the point where you want to extend it or add something, you can add another woman. Now you got 3 or 4, and all y'all paying bills, and you selling that ain't nothing but organized cheating. That is not a relationship. Everybody ain't gonna think like I think, but I'm just saying.
I love you, but we're gonna have to respectfully disagree, because I could tell we could have another show. I could pull my woman on here and she'll tell you. what the level of commitment, what the level of commitment and responsibility there is. Absolutely.
Man. All right, bro.
Hey, Miss J.
Move on.
Yo, this. Oh, yeah. Well, I said, but this is shake. This is shaking up the algorithm, man. This is good stuff right here, man. I absolutely love it. I just wanted to give a shout out to, I think the sister name is Latoya, man. She's been faithful
Latanya,
in the chats.
LAC.
Latanya, there we go, man. She's been faithful in the chats. Shout out to everybody else that's been, participating and just showing us love, man. We've been rocking out like what since 7 p.m., 6:30 or something like that. Man, I don't know, man. I just appreciate everybody that's just staying with us and just kicking in and rocking out and taking and soaking up this wisdom right here. This is beautiful stuff right here. I just couldn't let that go by without just acknowledging that, man. But I love these two brothers. I love everybody that's on, man. But just the banter back and forth between, just the wisdom. You know me, I'm the youngest one on. So when I see, older gentlemen within our community, just exchange dialogue. It's no disrespect. It's just conversation. It's a beautiful thing, man, and I absolutely love it.
Next question. I'm gonna give this one to you, Dedrick.
Okay.
Do men respect women that act like a lady but think like a man?
Great question. I don't know if men start, focusing on what her mindset is based on gender related. Okay, hope that makes sense. It all goes back to, I know I keep talking in circles and saying the same thing. It goes back to what is the responsibility. If I trust her and I trust her judgment, I'm not worrying about what she thinking. Is she thinking like a man or she thinking like a woman, because we're a team, you know. But but that's the difference between bringing somebody in your life as a partner and bringing somebody in your life as a seasonal engagement. Okay, so I'm not sitting in micromanaging on what she does, or how she thinking. I'm just want to make sure that we share common values. Everything goes back to values. Okay, and apples don't fall too far from the tree. Okay, so you can learn a lot by visiting her mom and her dad, because if you don't meet her parents, you're saying, and you don't meet her friends, then you don't know who you're dealing with, because that's where she get her emotional nourishment from, emotional support from. And that's where, I don't care. I've been married, and as men been married, they cling to their sisters or to their friends or their cousins, their mother, whomever else, their aunties, whoever, for their emotional nourishment, emotional support. So, in all due respect, I think that in the dating world, we always trying to find gaps, deficiencies, all the reasons not to be with somebody. But when you are mature and you have an open mind, and like I said, you've been in, like Darren said, if you've been in leadership, you have to realize that nobody's going to come in your life 100%. You have to accept the good, the bad, and the ugly. Great question.
Thank you so much. Again, this has been an ultimate conversation. This has been an ultimate ending to a great 3-show segment. I've had each of you on here, numerous shows, as well as you, Darren, who has, just come in to this segment. But I thank you all for adding such wisdom and knowledge to the platform. Just getting your opinions out there, having this time to be able to talk, and giving you all a space in order to do so without judgment, without criticism or anything of that nature. That is what my goal is. And so with that being said, happy Father's Day again to everyone in our viewing audience. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us on Shaking Up the Algorithms. Also, be on the lookout, because if you enjoyed this 3-segment men series, then you are going to love the women series. And that is going to be starting next week, June 23rd. So make sure that you all are tuned in and hear everything from a woman's perspective. And we're going to have a good time with that show. We're going to have a good time with that as well. So with that being said, again, you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. And those of you who are fathers, enjoy the rest of your day and peace out.
Find us on our social media page.
Special thanks to this week's sponsors.
Tune in for our next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you won't miss out on any future episodes.